Do you think these changes from Major League Baseball are a good idea, Jeff?
I do not. I think it's going to stink.
What a prediction from Jeff Passan. 12 hours before the home run derby even starts, Jeff Passan predicted that the event was going to be a flaming ass fire. And throughout the night last night, Netflix proceeded to fuel the flaming ass fire with toxic oral gas from their collection of so-called stars that were covering the event, some of which have absolutely no association and nothing to do with Major League Baseball. And to make matters worse, some Major League Baseball fans are claiming the home run derby was fixed because Netflix was showing or announcing the winner before the home run derby even ended. How could you mess this up? How could you take the golden goose and find a way to turn it into the polished turd? To their credit, Major League Baseball set up Netflix for success. Rob Manfred changed the format of the home run derby. He eliminated the countdown clock, which is something that fans have been complaining about for years. And the players, the real stars of the show, they were allowed to keep swinging as long as they were producing. From a broadcasting perspective, this should have been an easy event for Netflix to produce. Put a camera on the pitcher, put a camera on the batter, have multiple camera angles following the ball into the outfield, and let the home run derby itself, let the players be the stars of the show. Unfortunately, that is not what happened last night. Once again, because they did this same thing on opening night, once again, Netflix attempted to turn Major League Baseball into a damn circus. You know, me personally, I've never really been a fan of the home run derby, even when I was following Major League Baseball when I was younger, mainly because I just don't like all-star events. They're a complete waste of time. I would rather watch games that actually matter. I would rather watch games that count. I don't like exhibitions, but I do understand the allure of the home run derby. I understand why fans of Major League Baseball take the event seriously. It's tradition. And baseball is a sport where the fan base values tradition. But what we saw last night, that did not seem like a traditional home run derby. Major League Baseball did their best to set Netflix up for success. But once again, Netflix proved they have no idea how to broadcast major sporting events. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at BuzzBlocker. One of the best things about summer is being outside. One of the worst is dealing with the mosquitoes. A few weeks ago, I was outside grilling after a storm, and the mosquitoes were absolutely relentless. That's why I have started using BuzzBlocker. BuzzBlocker has become part of my routine, just like putting on sunscreen before you go outside to be in the sun. What I like most about BuzzBlocker is it's made with an all-organic ingredients and it is DEET-free. I use it before grilling in the evening, sitting on the patio, or just spending time in the yard by the pool, and it has made a huge difference in how much I enjoy being outdoors. BuzzBlocker is not only effective in dealing with mosquitoes, it's also effective dealing with ticks. And here's the best part. BuzzBlocker comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with it, you get your money back. No hassle, no questions asked. So enjoy summer without letting mosquitoes and ticks ruin it by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL to receive 10% off your first purchase with BuzzBlocker. The Home Run Derby started with a pre-show that I thought was way too long, and it was hosted by L. Duncan. Whoever hired L. Duncan to be the face of sports coverage at Netflix, They should probably be fired. There is a reason ESPN refused to match the offer that Netflix was giving to Elle Duncan. There is a reason ESPN was eager to sign those divorce papers. Last night, Elle Duncan wasn't necessarily bad, but she damn sure wasn't good. At one point, Elle Duncan said, "Hey friends, we're in Philadelphia. I've been talking to people in Philadelphia all day today, and they still reminisce. They still talk about the legendary home run derby that was held in the year of our Lord 1996. People aren't talking about the home run derby from last year. You really think people in Philadelphia are talking about a meaningless exhibition that was held in their city 30 years ago? 45 or so minutes into the broadcast, I thought the home run derby was finally getting started. You know, where professional baseball players participate in an elevated version of batting practice. 45 minutes into the broadcast, I thought we were about to see actual action, home runs. But then, Netflix goes through a heavily produced segment where they are introducing the players, and they attempted to turn this into a sketch that you would see on Saturday Night Live. Watch for yourself.
Here we are for the home run derby. Roger, Gus, good to be with you tonight. No, I'm Will, and this is Jimmy. Anyway,
We went over this.
we're very excited to be here. We're very excited to be a part of this. We hope you are too. Are you guys ready to watch some balls go very far into the air?
I have 2 words for you. Hand-eye coordination. He's got a good walk headed out there. He's like a tiger.
It really makes you think, God, I wish Shohei was here, right? Yeah. Huh.
Oh, William, you're so humorous. Balls, air, hand-eye coordination, 2 words. Ah! Oh! This seems to be a common mistake that Netflix continues to make. What is Will Ferrell doing pretending to host the home run derby? To his credit, Will Ferrell was funny 20 years ago, but the so-called comedy in this segment, it felt forced, it felt heavily scripted, heavily produced, inauthentic, which was a common complaint from baseball fans throughout the broadcast last night. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like Major League Baseball. The actual home run derby itself, it was positively received by fans, but the overall broadcast was the drizzling shits. Some people experienced buffering issues again. Netflix was showing the wrong camera angles. There were audio issues at times. It was just further proof that Netflix has no idea how to cover major sporting events. For some reason, Netflix likes to lean very heavily into the pageantry, but not everything has to be a spectacle. Sometimes simplicity is the best approach. When I'm watching the NBA Finals, I don't need some horrendous comedy segment from Will Ferrell. I don't need Luke Wilson acting like a comedian as they introduce the starting lineup. Here's Jalen Brunson from Vanilla Nova. Hey, William, how come so many NBA players are named Jalen? Do they have the same mother? To their credit, during the NBA Finals, and really throughout the playoffs, the NBA showcased professional basketball. The networks, the league, They allowed the players to be the stars. All Netflix had to do was nothing. This is the home run derby. The home runs are the draw. The players are the draw. There's no need for spectacle. There's no need to put the participants in some doofus wrestling ring that you borrowed from the WWE. All you had to do was put the players at the plate, let them hit the ball. Find someone not named L. Duncan to host the show. Chris Berman was legendary when he hosted the home run derby. Back, gone! Simple. The reason Chris Berman was so special, you knew he was having fun. Watching the Netflix crew last night felt like they were at work. And it was damn sure work for Uncle KC to make it through 90 minutes, 2 hours of this broadcast earlier this morning. You know, the way Netflix is butchering sports kind of reminds me of how the WNBA is butchering their cash cow. Sometimes all you need to do to succeed is nothing. Sometimes you get handed the golden goose, and all you need to do is get the hell out of the way and let the goose shine. Give it the platform and let people be mesmerized by the shiny gold, the stars. Instead, Netflix is making the same mistake the WNBA is making with Caitlin Clark. Instead of focusing on the draw, the stars, instead of focusing on home runs, there were times last night when Netflix was focused on conducting some meaningless interview. At one point, Junior Caminero, he hit a ball down the left field line. Now, it was questionable whether it was a fair or foul ball. It was his final swing, so this was a pivotal moment. And what is Netflix doing? I know what they weren't doing. They weren't showing the replay. If you wanted to replay the hit, you had to rewind the broadcast manually. It felt like producers. It felt like they were more focused on ambiance. It felt like they were more focused on setting the mood instead of just getting the hell out of the way and letting Major League Baseball do what they do best. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, and maybe this is just me, but Netflix as a platform, they seem to be going through this identity crisis. When I originally subscribed to Netflix many years ago, the shows, the original content, that was the draw. House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, Ozark, Breaking Bad. Eventually, Netflix started producing reality shows, which is fine, but there was a consistent schedule. House of Cards released every summer. Same with Orange is the New Black. Today, you'll get hooked into a show on Netflix, and the new season, it won't be released for another 2 years. And that's if a new season is released. Shows are constantly being canceled. Meanwhile, Netflix is leaning heavily into sports while having no idea what the hell they are doing. They are paying out the ass for podcasts. Seems like they are trying to compete with YouTube, which is a battle they will lose. It looks like Netflix is trying to be decent at everything instead of being elite at what made the platform attractive in the first place, which was producing original content, original shows. When you overextend yourself, it creates problems. And a lot of these sporting events on Netflix, they have been nothing but problems. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, disaster. Opening night for Major League Baseball, flaming ass fire. Netflix had their ass saved last night because the home run derby itself was so good, but the overall broadcast sucked. It's like Netflix is trying to differentiate themselves from the networks by presenting major sporting events in a non-traditional way. But there is a reason the networks present sports the way they do. It works. You don't need to put the Netflix polish on the home run derby. All you had to do was let the event be the draw. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.